Good morning, everybody. What's going on? Aaron here, checking in. It is April 24th. It is 4 days post-show, and it is Wellness Wednesday. It's actually 10 after 6 in the morning. It is a gloomy day. It was a rainy day in Pizzaville. A gloomy day here in southwestern Ontario. So normally at this time you'd be able to see me. I had to actually turn my light on, which luckily is not much of a distraction right now, so we're okay. Plus, I'm in the country on backcountry roads, and there's not a car in sight. Anyway, I want to take a few minutes to talk post-show body dysmorphia. It happens all the time. It happens to regular people all the time as well. Especially anybody that is going through a fat loss or a muscle gain. It doesn't have to be a loss. You see people that are, generally pretty skinny that are trying to put on muscle, or just that everyday person. You look in the mirror and you're not necessarily happy with what you see, and you get in your head and you start dealing with that body dysmorphia, and we all have it. Today, as I stepped on the scale, as I always do, I saw my weight, which was lower today than it was on Saturday for competition, and I was actually sharper and in much better condition this morning than I was all weekend. So with that being said, my body looked better. I looked more muscular, my muscles were popping more, and I am actually almost all the way back up to my maintenance calories. So I've been eating regularly. So a part of me was like, motherfucker, that sucks. And a part of me was like, hey, that's cool. And then that's when I really kind of started thinking about this video, because this happens all the time. And it's easy to get stuck in your head and not be where you want to be, and then continue to put yourself through hell to achieve what you want to achieve. When we see, bodybuilders, bikini models, fitness models on magazines and stuff, what the people need to realize, anybody that's not an athlete, because generally we do all realize this, is that body composition that you see in those pictures on stage, Instagram I will get to in a minute, that's a different story, but definitely on the magazines and on stage, usually only lasts for about 10 hours, if that. When you see that person with just cracking abs, now we're gonna go with that, when their abs are just popping and they look shredded, they generally don't look like that every day. Sure, they might have the abs on a regular basis, but not to the extent that you see in magazines and on stage. Magazines, again, is a different story that I will kind of come back around to. Stage ready. It's generally about 10 hours. That's it. And then you start eating, you start drinking water, and you start getting back to where you were. I had realized that I had too much fluids on stage before I went on. So, there's some things that I got to play with the next time, which is okay. It's totally fine. I did a water depletion and it didn't necessarily work. As I said, I'm kind of back to normal everything, and I look better today. The big thing is I'm not going to beat myself up about it. And I've been in a fat loss for 13 weeks. It was 12 weeks, and then my last week was prep week, so technically it was 13 weeks. So this is week 1 of maintenance. I have to get back into a maintenance mode, and I have been. Over 4 days, I've gained 1,000 calories back into my diet, because I was down to 1,000, 1,200, so very, very low calories. And now I'm working my way back up to maintenance, which is, I calculated yesterday, is roughly 2,800. So the big thing that people need to realize that a fat loss period is not permanently sustainable. You can't just stay in a fat loss. It doesn't work for many, many reasons. One, your body eventually just catches up and you're not going to lose anymore, and that's it. You might start losing, but you're going to start breaking down muscle tissue as well, because your body's starving. It needs that nutrition. So can we see now? Hey, we can see a little bit, so I'm going to turn that off. Your body needs nutrition, and it doesn't matter if it's being fed from fat, if it's being fed from carbs, or it's being fed from muscle. It's going to get it somewhere, protein I should say. It's going to get that energy from somewhere, so your body will just start breaking down. Okay. Two, and arguably the most important one, systemically, you just can't do it. The fatigue that you're going to start to generate is going to spill over into every other aspect of your life. So that is, you're going to get so damn tired from not eating because you're trying to be in a fat loss that your everyday life is just going to go downhill, because your cognitive response, that is how you respond to everyday things, how you think. Like, I'm still foggy from the last couple weeks, so I consider myself a fairly smart individual. Last couple weeks I've sounded like a fucking idiot half the time because I can't get the words, I can't articulate what I want to say. It's there, but I just can't piece everything together, and that's because I was so fatigued. So now as I'm eating things, even my brain function is getting back to normal. The third one is psychologically. If you get stuck worrying about this fat loss phase, sorry, pardon me, I just realized I'm only 10 minutes from the gym and I still have the whole pre-drink to drink here. If you get stuck in your own head that you're in this fat loss, so my goal was 185 pounds. I got down to 188. And now I'm sitting at 195. I'm okay with that because I'm going to go into maintenance for the next little bit. But if I get stuck in my head that I need to hit that 185, I'm going to continue to try and be in that fat phase. I'm going to starve myself and my body of nutrients, and I'm going to end up looking like shit. I'm going to feel like shit, and it's going to take way longer to achieve the goal that I've been trying to set out to achieve. So now it's all about backpedaling. So now I got to go, okay, I'm going to go on maintenance for about 6 weeks, because you want to be in maintenance mode for about half as long as you were in that fat loss mode. And sure, are you going to potentially gain a couple pounds back? Absolutely. But after you're done that maintenance phase, then you can reassess everything and go, okay, should I go back into a fat loss phase? Or can I sustainably go into a fat loss phase and maybe not another 12-week cut? 12 weeks is a long time, guys. That's 3 fucking months. It's a long time. Can it be done? Yeah. Is it recommended? No. Or should you go into a massing phase? And that all depends on what you want to do. So I'm going through my 6 weeks of maintenance, which I am so looking forward to, because in the 6 weeks, I am also doing the Superman training split, which is super exciting. I'm going to do a whole section on that stuff as well. And next week, I will start filming the workouts involved with that. In the meantime, this is all about Wellness Wednesday today and body dysmorphia. So it's really deciding what you want to do. And even people that go into a mass gaining phase, again, you can only sustain it for so long before, and this is going to sound bad, before you start getting fat. And I really hate that term. I I hate that, skinny and fat. Now that I'm dealing with all this and being a health and wellness coach, and a competitive bodybuilder who I competed in my first show. I'm officially an athlete. That dawned on me Sunday morning. I'm like, fuck, I'm actually an athlete now. And I got to treat it as such. But if you keep trying to bulk, right? I'm on like a 3-year bulk, man. Your body, same as being in a fat loss, it's only sustainable for so long. Not psychologically, because psychologically, you're going to be able to continue that mass gain, for a very, very long time. And psychologically, mentally, it's going to be pretty sustainable because you're eating and you're eating a lot. The problem is, eventually your body's going to catch up. And then you're not going to be able to tell if you're putting muscle or fat on, especially if you just keep eating and you're eating a lot of stuff. When I'm in my mass, I'm about 4,000 to 5,000 calories. And you're going to hear people talk about calories a lot through the fitness industry. And, bro, I eat like 6,000 calories. And you heard me say it earlier. I was down to 1,000 calories. The big difference is I know what my maintenance is. Most people don't, right? So I hear this commercial on the radio all the time, and it fucking drives me bonkers now. And it was, most days I was eating 3,000 calories. Cool. How much do you actually weigh? Because if you weigh 190 pounds, 3,000 calories is how much you should be eating. And that's not even including just physical activity. That's how much you should be fucking eating. Basically, take your body weight and times it by 15. That's your maintenance calories. Done. Some people kind of go between that, so you can go as low as 12. But yeah, if you take your weight and you multiply that by 15, that's generally what it is. Now, if you do that for maintenance and you're still gaining weight, cool, drop 200 calories. That's it. And then that's how you find out your maintenance. So I already know my maintenance is roughly around 3,000 calories, right? The average person eating 3,000 calories should be. I am a highly active. See, still cognitivity, I don't even know if that's a word, it is now, is still kind of out to lunch. I'm an active person. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I take 2 rest days, and with maybe 5,000 steps between those days. That's going to change. I'm going to start getting back into DDPY like hardcore. And Saturday and Sunday, or my 2 days off, are going to be my active recovery days with a lot of good stretching and stuff like that. Anyway, I need a decent amount of calories to stay sustainable, because I burn a lot. I mean, in the gym every morning, I burn about 1,000 calories, give or take. Depending on how long I'm in there. Now, this new cycle that I'm doing it's a much shorter cycle. It's meant to be condensed, but it is really focusing on the upper body. Again, can't wait to see the results. Can't wait to share them with you. Kind of started going off track there. Body dysmorphia is a fucking thing. It happens to everybody, whether you are overweight, whether you are underweight trying to put on muscle, or whether you look fucking phenomenal. I was going to touch on Instagram, and I will do that now. Instagram or socials and magazines are a fucking lie. Magazines can be photoshopped easily. We know that. The AI is out there now that you can do that with fucking Instagram posts and social media. Is that what people are doing? Not necessarily. A lot of these people do look like that on a regular basis. What they're not telling you is camera angles and lighting play a huge, huge difference in all of that. So they may not necessarily, be that ripped, but if they have the right camera angle and the right lighting, fuck yeah, they look pretty damn good. And it happens all the time, and people play off that. And I try not to. I try not. When I take my pictures in the gym, I try and get as natural a look as possible. And I mean, the gym lighting and the mirrors are different. They just are. So you look different in them. So you're going to see yourself in a gym mirror and then go home and look at yourself in the real mirror, and you might not be happy with what you see, and that's okay. That all comes down with that body dysmorphia. The point is, you got to be mentally stronger than you are physically, because you have to go through all of that crap, and it's not easy. And you have to realize when it's time to step back and change something, step up and eat something, just change overall what you're doing. All right, guys, I am rolling into the gym. Of course, it is a packed house today. Why would it not be? Which is quite all right. I like to see that. Of course, it's also on a day when I'm starting my new training split. Well, not starting, but I got new exercises today that I haven't normally been doing, and hopefully the equipment I need is available. All right, guys, I hope this helped somebody somewhere along the way. That's all I'm really trying to do here. Share my story, get it out there, but let people know that things can constantly change, and we just have to be, we got to be ready for anything and everything. Again, my cognitive thought is just not there right now, but you guys, you get the idea. All right, own your lives and get after it. Cheers.